Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets.
What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to send a beating at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
You can describe your emotion. You either win or you learn. That's how I feel. You either win or you learn.
We know what's at stake. We had to start all over and build this thing again. And last year was last year. Let's focus on the team that we got right now.
There is a huge mountain in front of us. Think about today. Because if you don't handle business every single day, it ain't gonna matter how much talent we have in you. That's a mindset we gotta have. Every single day, what am I doing to get better? How are we gonna be the best in the world at what we do? We're prepping our minds, we're prepping our bodies. This season's a marathon. It's all about the energy we bring every single day. You gotta live that, you gotta believe that, you gotta feel that.
1, 2, 3,
The best teams win, not the best group of individuals win. The best teams win. If you want to fly fast, fly alone. You want to fly far, fly together.
And welcome everybody to another edition of the Philly podcast presented by sixpackcoverage.com, La Terrain Watches, the monkeys.uncle.net, and Back to 99 Productions. We are powered by StreamYard and Spotify for podcasters. I'm Eric Perugini. This is Chris Lahiff, and this is Dallas Week Part 2. So, with that, we'll be discussing obviously Dallas coming up this week, but we'll also be recapping the total embarrassment of the Eagles getting the brakes beat off of them by the one and only San Francisco 49ers. So, with that, Chris, I see you popping open a Rolling Rock. How are you?
This is a recap of Sunday's game for me.
Yeah. That was it was pretty freaking bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was I don't know. Like they looked good the first two drives and then they gave up six count them, 6 straight scoring drives. 6.
Yeah, you can't expect to win an NFL game doing that. And not to mention, I know you love this stat. How many yards after the catch?
213 yards.
Yeah, that's that's just bad. Nobody was tackling. I don't know what else to say about that. It was very bad. At some point, I'm trying to still figure out where Sirianni just gave up on the game. But you can see why. Like they just got outplayed. They just got destroyed. Who do you blame for that? Do you blame Sirianni? Do you blame? I see some people were blaming Brian Johnson. Do you blame Desai? Do you blame the tackling?
It's a bad loss. I'm not going to use the 3 games in 14 days, whatever it is. I'm not going to use the officials, like everyone sits there and says the Eagles get the calls. Well, Ronnie Bell held Blankenship on Debo's 1 touchdown, and then George Kittle held Blankenship and I think Roby on the other touchdown. I don't ever want to hear another person complain about the officiating ever again. It didn't go our way. There was a pass interference on Quez Watkins. It's the nature of the game. It absolutely sucked, but it's the nature of the game, and I don't want to hear it for the rest of the season. I don't care what happens. And Nick Bosa to sit there and say that they had the blueprint, that to beat Jalen Hurts that he just sits in the pocket and like it was one bad game. The guy's he's lost 4 games in 2 seasons and he's figured out. I don't get the NFL. I don't. And Nick Bosa, like, dude, you got manhandled by Lane Johnson multiple times. Multiple times Lane Johnson was manhandled. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the disrespect that Jalen Hurts continually gets in and week out. I don't think Brock Purdy is in the top 4 conversation for MVP. Top 3 conversation. He's the 4th. It's Jalen, it's Dak, and it's Christian McCaffrey. Plain and simple. With McCaffrey probably leading the way. I would even put Tyreek Hill at 4 if I had to. Because he's having a ridiculous season. Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from him. But Deebo Samuel had 2 catches for 98 yards after the catch. 98 yards.
Yeah.
No, like we fell into the trap. It is what it is. They manhandle us. And I'll say this. It was the first time I've been to a 49ers game. I've been to multiple Dallas Cowboys games. I've been to multiple Giants games. I've been to a couple of Redskins games. I refuse to call them the other team. The San Francisco 49ers fan base is hands down one of the top 3 worst fan bases ever. Ever. Like, don't sit there and be quiet the whole game and then wait till because we were there. Like, and I got along with, listen, you were there, I got along with most of the fans. Like, we were breaking balls like the whole time, it is what it is. And then when the game was officially over, the dude's going to turn around and start yapping at me, talking about look at the scoreboard. Where were you the entire game? Like, I'm having fun with the other fans from the 49ers. And then this idiot turns around and just starts going off on me. Nah, bro. Nah. You picked the wrong Eagles fan. You picked probably in that section, the biggest shit talker there is. And it just irritated the shit out of me and then, I had the other fans come up to me. Were like, nah, dude, you were right. You were cool all game. Like, what could at the end of the day, what could I say? You beat us by 23 points. There's nothing had to be said. I'll see you in January. That was it. I gave them
that's
props,
it.
and they were still going.
Yeah, well, look, they were only acting that way, and you were right. We were there. We were lucky enough to be at that game. We had great seats, and it was funny watching the 49er fan base, how some of them were reacting. They literally were, except for the one guy, they were pretty quiet, and then they turned around. The one guy turned around with his face that was sliding off, when every time he would talk, shut up, and his face would go sideways. It was exactly what I expected. They didn't say much, until their team started, they went on that run. And when they had their cameras out, they were all talk. They couldn't stop with the shut up, F you guys. But as soon as the cameras went off, they were like, oh, hey, guys, awesome time, great time. They were totally different. They're frauds. They're a fraud fan base. That game on Sunday was their Super Bowl. That's what it was.
And it was for the 49ers, too. And if the 49ers were acting – I can't remember Dallas acting like that. And I was at multiple Dallas games where the Eagles lost. Like, I can't remember the Dallas fans and – the Dallas benches acting like that. I am going to play a clip. It's 59 seconds. This is an accurate description of the Eagles and their ability to tackle the 49ers. You're going to laugh.
Nope, going back the other way.
What? Are you going backwards? Just score.
Nah, I'm going to run out the quarter.
I'm not playing now. My controller's down.
Seems like your controller's been down the whole time.
Who's Varys? You got to switch off Varys. Get it to Ronnie Lott. Pretty much anyone but Varys.
Oh, no, I'm all the way back here now. I'm in my own end zone. What am I doing? Too bad I'm not Bo Jackson. Oh, wait, I am.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Here you go, Quagmire. You're about to tackle me. But then...
Damn it!
Less than a minute.
Shut up, Joe!
He's gonna do it. He might do this.
I don't know. A lot of football still to be played here.
I'm hitting reset.
Don't you dare hit reset. You hit reset, you're banned for life.
I hate this. Joe, do you want to play?
I like being this guy.
A zig. A zag. A touchdown. Yeah! I won the game. And now I'm gonna jump Bo Jackson!
Yeah, that was them. That was
There's
them.
no- and this is what I'm going to do. You can't say it because of my green screen, but this is a beer.
That's too funny. But yeah, it was. I mean, look, it was the depressing game to see how the Eagles got totally destroyed. Like I said, they got the break speed off of them, but you know what the funny thing was? This first two series, I thought, okay, the Eagles are on to something here, and then it just went, sideways. All their, the failed red zone attempts, all that stuff, that was just unacceptable. But I'm going to say one thing. I moved on from it. I moved on from the game like that quick. Like before we left the parking lot, I moved on from the game. I was like, all right, they got a bad game in, and that was it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what people want to say, here's the scenario. The Eagles went into the day as the number one seed in the conference and number one in the division. They left number one seed in the conference, number one in the division. That's the importance of getting all of those wins early in the season, how they come down to. And people want to sit there and say, oh, well, they lost to the 49ers and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, they even if they lose more, say they get the second seed in the conference. Quite frankly, they win on Sunday night. They could lose out the rest. They literally could lose out like the rest. No, I'm sorry. They lose on Sunday night and then win the rest of the way. They still win a division because it comes down to conference record. It'll come down to conference record, and the only two losses that they would have, the one right now, the one loss is the Jets, AFC. So it don't even matter. So I mean, like the Eagles basically still control their own destiny, and I think they're going to have a much better game than what they played this past week. I can't see them having another game like that 2 weeks in a row. I just can't. I think it's a redemption game for them. It's going to be a tough game. Dallas is on a 14-game home winning streak at the current moment. Yeah. So I mean, like it's going to be tough, and they're playing good football right now. Like they've really hit their stride the last few weeks. Dak has been playing absolutely phenomenal. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. He has, and it's definitely going to be a dogfight in this game coming up on Sunday night. But yeah, I officially retire from going to Eagles games. It's 2 straight games now that I've gone to and they've lost. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm a mush.
You can't say that.
I'll go to away games. Let's put it that way. I'll go to away games. But yeah, so no.
That was a fun time.
Well, but here's the other thing. Like I got some stats here in front of me. Now like this season right now. Okay, now the Eagles, well documented, they couldn't tackle anything this past game. All right, I'm going to give you 3 guys right now that are no longer on the team. 2 of them are in the top 10 of tackles this year, and another one who was number 22 until he got hurt and he's out for the season. TJ Edwards. Okay, and this is going to be a pattern here too. TJ Edwards, number 3 overall in combined in total tackles in the NFL this year with 127. Number 6, Alex Singleton with 122. 22, Kaiser White at 90. And again, like he's out for the year with a torn biceps, but he's been having a very good year for Arizona. You know how much Arizona got him for? 2 years at $10 million. 2 years, $10 million. That's $5 million a season. And why I bring that up is because we had no linebackers at all that were of any talent out there on that damn field this Sunday night. And I just gave you 3 that were on this squad last year and having very good seasons. TJ Edwards, 73 of those 127 are solo tackles. Singleton, 71 of the 122 were solo. Kaiser White, 53 of his 90 total tackles were solo tackles. You're talking. That's a lot of like, and like I said, I'm focusing on tackles because they couldn't tackle. They couldn't. If it was a statue standing there, they couldn't tackle it. That's a lot going on right there. That is absolutely a lot, and that's where
I get it, but I mean, let's be realistic. I'll give you TJ Edwards, and I'll give you Kaiser White. Like TJ Edwards, he wasn't a stud, but he was good. He wanted. I think he got like a 3-year deal, and just wasn't. It wasn't there for the Eagles, I guess.
Well, he got paid big time by Chicago. He got money. He got money.
Let's look at the TJ Fields contract. Edwards. I say TJ Fields.
TJ Fields.
I think it's TJ Edwards, Chris.
Yes, it is TJ Edwards.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, what he got? He got 3 years over and $20 million from
Chicago,
from the Bears, which I guess isn't bad. I mean, I don't know why the Eagles didn't invest in it. I was a little upset at Kaiser White. I liked him. I liked him a lot. Mm-hmm. I thought he was. I thought he was a decent player.
No, he really was.
Alex Singleton. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, Kaiser White is a good player. Singleton is just one of the guys. He's always around the ball carrier. He's always around the guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't anything special. I mean, like you're talking about, like last year, he had like 1.5 sacks. So I mean, but he gets the tackles. That's the thing, and that's what I was focusing on. All the missed tackles that they had, like all those the over 200 yards after the catch. It's because we didn't have competent linebackers. Hence, why they went out and signed Shaq Leonard. Which is he the answer? No. Is he better than what they had out there? The Morrow? Yes, he is. And thank God that Zach Cunningham is going to be playing this week along with Shaq Leonard. So I feel a little bit more confident with our linebackers heading into this game this week. But at the end of the day, I mean, looking back on it, like they invested in the position last year, and this year they kind of just let it go. They went back to the whole thing of, oh, well, you know what? We drafted Nakobe Dean. He didn't play much last year. He was on the bench for the most part, checking everything out, learning. This year the kid's been hurt. So, I mean, there was your guy that was going to be your main signal caller, hurt.
Right. And that's kind of like, it's kind of like where you go and you look at the Alex Singleton and you look at Nakobe Dean. It's kind of like why Alex Singleton wasn't brought back is because of Nakobe Dean.
Right.
And then that's kind of like why TJ Edwards wasn't brought back because of Nakobe Dean. Unfortunately, he's been hurt. When he's playing, he's good. Maybe they need to put Shaq Leonard and Zach Cunningham and Nolan Smith out there. That's who I think they need to put out there.
That would be pretty good. That would be good. I mean, I would at this point. Why not start giving Nolan Smith more opportunities? Why not?
Yeah,
that's my whole thing.
Yeah, and like we had said earlier about Alex Singleton, he signed a 1-year deal with the Broncos at $1 million. The Eagles had Nakobe Dean. He was a rookie, so he was on the scale. Then he got, like I said, he had 163 tackles in 2022. He had 100 solo tackles. He had 6 tackles for a loss. I just, unfortunately, the linebacker room was full.
And the other thing was what didn't help was Miles Jack. They bring the guy in. he decides he doesn't.
I hope he gets hit by a train.
Yeah, I mean, he decides he doesn't want to play football, and after weeks and weeks and weeks of nothing from him, because he went home, they release him, and all of a sudden he wants to play football again. Like, bro, if you don't want to play for a team, don't sign with them in the first place. Like that's my whole thing. Don't just sign a contract.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Miles Jack. He irritated me. You know,
I mean, so it's not like
a big deal.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Howie Roseman didn't invest in the position again. It was, for the most part, the guy. He invested in it, but he didn't give it. He didn't invest in the same kind. He didn't invest in the same talent that left. You know what I mean? Like, he invested in bodies, he invested in names, but he didn't invest in the ability of the people that left. Now, like, Alex Singleton's nothing special, but like I said, off of last season, he 122 tackles. I'm sorry, that's this season, 122 tackles. That's 122 that, God, he could have had in one game last week. I mean, at that rate, he would have been the only guy tackling. So, I mean, I kind of blame Howie Roseman for our linebacking situation at this point in time. Like, he addressed it, but he didn't address it with actual talent. He got names.
And you gotta hope that Shaquille Leonard turns out to be a good signing.
I think he's going to be okay.
There's also rumors that they're going after Naughton Sue. I'm not even going to try to say his first name.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
Yeah, he kind of alluded to that after the season ended last year. That he, if they called, he'd be ready. He's kind of like one of those guys right now. He just doesn't want to go through the OTAs. He doesn't want to go through the rigors of a full season. He wants to be a hired gun.
And he's old enough, and he's good enough. He should be able to.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that if they decide to go get him. I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, you could always use all that help on the lines. So I'll never say no to something like that. Never.
Neither will I.
But here's another stat real quick before you go on. Okay, off of last year. Sacks. All right, Hassan Reddick had 16. Then you had 3 guys tied with 11. Hassan Reddick was number 2 in the league, by the way, last year. 3 of them were tied at 14th. Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, and Josh Sweat, all with 11. And then at number 43, Fletcher Cox had 7. I mean, they're just not getting to the quarterback this year.
I don't know if it's that or they haven't gotten to the quarterback the last 2 games. Because they were before the Buffalo game, they were at the same pace they were from 2022. But then I don't think they sacked Josh Allen, and I only think they got Purdy once.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I remember one time for Brock Purdy.
All right, well, enough with the belly aching about the goddamn 49ers.
F them.
Let's switch gears and let's talk about Dallas Week Part 2.
Oof, man. This is going to be an interesting game. It really is. This is going to be a good game. I still think I'm going to give Dallas the edge because of their win streak at home at the moment and the fact that it is in Dallas. I'm going to give them a slight edge, but I can't see the Eagles having another bad game like last week. I think they're going to be hungry. I think they're going to be pissed off. I mean, they're going to be Jason Kelsey pissed off. Like, he basically called out the commissioner and was like, look, if you're going to ban the tush push, just effing do it. He's like, just effing do it. Like, stop talking about it and do it. I love the guy. I'm sorry. He don't care. Like, he can get fined. He don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm not giving Dallas. I can't.
Yeah.
I think I have to go because Dallas is only a 3.5 point favorite.
That's it. And they're home.
That tells me you take the Eagles.
I would absolutely. Oh, I would absolutely take the Eagles if I was a betting guy. I would take them for that. I would absolutely take them. Like I said, man, I think this is going to be a really tough game. I really do, and I'm just excited for it. And I want them to I want them to pace the game. I want them to take control of the game. I want them to come out running the football. That's what I want them to do. There's two things I want them to do in this game. I want them to try something different. One, I need them to start running the football because the stats that DeAndre Swift has for a guy that is literally getting like not even starter type carries, what it seems like he doesn't get the ball. But yet he's third in the league in rushing or fourth in the league in rushing overall. Like it's insane what he's able to do when he gets the ball. I would ram the ball down their throat. And to be quite honest with you, I would throw a monkey wrench into Dallas's game plan. I would throw here and there into the game. I would throw AJ Brown in at slot. He's got the same type of abilities of a Deebo Samuel. I would throw him in the slot and see what he does, like once or twice, not the whole game. I would move him around in that formation.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Listen, a big thing, Dallas Goedert's back. You know, AJ Brown can't get double covered anymore.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know.
Yeah, no. It is good that he'll be back. Well, yeah, but we'll have to see how effective he is. We'll have to see how much they use him. To be honest with you, I hope they use him a lot. I hope they kind of show like they target him early to show that hey, he's okay, that he's good, he's healthy. Because I don't think that was a big reason why the Eagles lost last week, but not having him there was definitely a wrinkle in the game plan. And now that he's back, I think they're in pretty good shape moving forward. Like I'm really not worried about the rest of the way.
I'm not either. Listen, you're allowed to have a bad game.
Right.
Bad games happen. It's a part of football. The Eagles had a really bad game in 2022 versus the Washington Redskins. You were there, so you know how bad that game was.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, this game, they got outplayed. They got bullied, and it happens. It's part of football. And I just don't understand why everyone just automatically just jumps down each other's throat, or why the media is this and that. No. Dallas put up 38 points against Seattle. Geno Smith put up 35 points against Dallas. You don't think Jalen Hurts is better than Geno Smith?
No, absolutely. He absolutely is.
You don't think the Eagles' defense is a little bit better than Seattle?
They are. They absolutely are.
I'm over it. I'm over the Skip Baylesses of the world. I'm over it all. I can't take it anymore. I just hate everybody. I can't do it. It doesn't make sense.
Well, the new guy on my hit list is David Carr.
That guy is an idiot.
How the hell can you sit there and say that it would benefit the Eagles more right now to start Marcus Mariota over a guy who last year was the runner-up in the MVP voting? Why all of a sudden now this guy can't read a defense? But I don't know. A guy that can't read a defense got you to 10-2. Out of 12 games, they lost 2. But he can't read a defense. But Marcus Mariota is going to come in.
Right.
Yeah.
And Nick Bosa's sitting there saying that, he looks at the rushers first. I don't understand that these analysts. I don't take away Chris Sims' credentials, take away David Carr's credentials. It's a disgrace to the NFL.
Did
you see Michael Robinson? He was like, I ain't say that, Eagles fans. That was him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's insane that these guys have these takes like this. I don't understand it. Is it disrespect? Number one, is it disrespect to Jalen Hurts? Is it just disrespect to the Eagles organization in general? Or is it that these guys are just trying to get the next hot take? Because that's all media is anymore for sports. It's all clicks and hot takes. Who can get the most clicks?
So this is what I think it is. I think it's a hot take to get a click, but I also think it's I also think like these former NFL players hate the moves that the Eagles are making, that Howie is making to get these players. And they're like, I can't like this team. They're getting this. They're getting that. Like they did it all the time with the Patriots when the Patriots were dominant in the 2000s. Like,
yeah, but here's my thing with that. Why are you going to hate a team for making these moves when, quite honestly, this team hasn't won, this version of the team hasn't won the Super Bowl? Why are you hating on this team? No one said nothing about the Patriots, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick back in the day, Robert Kraft. No one said anything about them, except for when Robert Kraft was drunk and molesting women. But, I mean, you can't – why can't another team come in here and make moves and try and better themselves, try and get to the ultimate goal, which is winning the Super Bowl? I don't understand it.
Because it's easier to hate the Philadelphia Eagles because of the fans. It's easier because, and I'm going to bring it up, and, Big Dom was 100% in the wrong.
Absolutely, he was.
But he didn't lay his, like everyone's sitting there saying he smacked Greenlaw.
No,
he didn't. He put
didn't.
arms away to try to stop a fracas, whatever you want to call it.
A ruckus.
A ruckus. Should he have done it? Probably not. But you just saw your star receiver get slammed to the ground. And for anybody who, Skip Bayless and all that, who sits there and says that wasn't a clean or that wasn't a dirty hit, I hate to say this, shut the fuck up. I hate cursing, but shut up. It was an absolutely dirty hit. He took him out of bounds. So shut your mouth. And everyone's like, the NFL is going to do this, the NFL is going to do that. I don't think the NFL is going to fine Dom, or they're going to suspend him, or the Eagles are going to suspend him. The guy's been on the sideline for 3 decades. He's never done anything wrong. Let's recap to the Jet strength and conditioning coach 10 years ago, put his foot out to trip a punt returner. Let's point out when Mike Timlin stood on the field on the sideline when Jacoby Jones was returning a kick. I got a little stutter and stack action there. returning a kickoff and would have returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But those were direct in play games, and it doesn't make a difference if it's a coach or not. You can't do that in an NFL game. No. You can't get in the way of a play. That's 2 times. That's 2 separate times that happened. And they want to fire, and people want Fat Dom, or Big Dom as they call him, fired. Get out of here. Now he might get fired. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to get suspended, and I think he deserves to be suspended. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I heard it real fast on the radio. I think they're that the Eagles are taking or stripping him of his on field credentials for the rest of the season. I'm pretty sure I heard that, but any other disciplinary action from the Eagles, I haven't heard of anything yet. I know that the NFL is looking into it and all that stuff. But yeah, I heard real fast on one of our radio stations out here where they said that someone said that he's probably going to have his credentials stripped for the rest of the season. And I was like, all right, well, whatever. I mean, that's fine. Who cares? He's just a security guy to me. That's all I care about. I'm not getting when I found it very funny too. And it was also concerning that Big Dom was the main focus after that loss. I said, are you kidding me? We lost that game because a security guy tried to break up 2 players. Shut up. I was like, here's another stupid take by the friggin' dumbass media. So, but
right.
Yeah,
it's Tomlin got fined $100,000. Like, I don't get it. Like, the guy's been around for decades, and and like I said, he tried. He knows.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he knows he was wrong. He does. He knows he was wrong in getting involved like that, but it is what it is. So let's get back to Dallas Week Part 2.
All right.
So so you think the Eagles win this game?
I think the Eagles win this game. I think they have to have a bounce back game. It's all about character. We need to see how much character this Eagles team has. It's about character, the veteran leadership, and that's what it comes down to. It comes down to coaching. I think Nick Sirianni is a better coach than Mike McCarthy.
I'll give you that. I'll absolutely agree with that.
But it's going to come down to character and how they can bounce back from a bad football game. They're 10-2, not 2-10.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, like I said earlier, they usually bounce back well after a loss. And I mean, it's been a little while since we've had to talk about the Eagles in that fashion this season. Thank God. But I mean, yeah, I don't see them. Let's put it this way: I'm not going to say that they win or lose, because I mean, I still say like Dallas is at home. They're on that home game winning streak. They're playing damn good football right now. So I just think we're in for a really good game, a tight game, a very close game. But I do agree with you. I think the Eagles play much, much better. I'm just apprehensive to say win. I'm apprehensive to say it.
I get it. You're allowed to be apprehensive, and I'm not. Like my takes are outlandish and ridiculous at times, and I know this, but I refuse. I refuse to believe that this team doesn't have the character and the veteran leadership to come back and win this game.
Oh, and I believe that. I mean, I do believe that.
And I think they win this game with Nick Sirianni benching Jalen Hurts for Marcus Mariota.
All right. Let's see how many views we're getting now. I'm seeing them click up, click up, click up. All right, Derek. All right, David Carr. Fucking dick.
All right. Let's go to a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Marine watches.
They say every watch tells a story. Family. Moments. Lifetimes. With La Touraine, this is a watch that spans generations, not just from where it came from, but for where it will go. Knowing one of these, having one of these, is what being a professional, being casual, and being you is all about. From our family to yours, La Touraine.
All right. Thank you, La Touraine, for always being an awesome and cool sponsor of the Philly podcast. So, with that, all right. So, who's your breakout player of the game for the Eagles?
DeAndre Swift.
Okay, DeAndre Swift. Very good. I'm going with Devontae Smith. I think he's going to have a pretty good game this week.
Hey, he could. He had a good game last week.
Yeah, he really did.
When he wasn't getting slammed around late hits and shit.
Yeah. No, I do. I think he's going to have a very nice game with Dallas Goedert coming back. It should open the field up a lot more for the Eagles passing game. But yeah, I really want to see DeAndre Swift get the ball early and often, and I want to just see him run it down the throat of the Dallas Cowboys. I hope that's what we see.
How about the two fans who stood outside the practice with the run the ball sign? I as much as I can't stand our fans, I love our fans.
Well, was that a current photo, or because I saw online where people were saying that was like 5 years ago?
No, I thought that it was today. It was the other day.
It was the other day. Okay, no, I was just wondering because I saw
Sirianni sent coffee out.
He sent coffee out. That's funny. That's funny. Gotta love a coach with a sense of humor. That's pretty good. Nick Sirianni. He may be my favorite coach ever for the Eagles.
Yeah. Yeah. I just I get it. You know. It's just it was frustrating. And listen, I'm gonna say I had a lot of fun. Don't even worry about the phone for TikTok. It is what it is. We got views. You can.
You just saw that now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd like for people to see my gorgeous face. You know what I'm saying? It's just I have a feeling that they're like staring at my chest or something. I don't know.
No, the only thing I see is just like your template, like your screen.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, listen, I like other than the loss, I had a blast.
Oh, I had a great time.
I haven't tailgated since 2007. I drank I drank like I was 21 again, and I'm not 21. It was a rough.
I literally do not remember you taking 5 shots of Fireball. I think I had 2.
So I had one, and then the homeless guy came over, and I was like, "Here, take a shot." He's like, "I don't drink." Bullshit,
yeah, I don't drink alcohol. You're homeless, dude.
So I did one there, and then I did another one, and then we did the group one, and then before we went in, we did another one. So you did 3, I think.
Oh my god, I did do 3.
Yeah, and then I drank about 12 beers.
I can't believe I didn't black out.
The vodka and rum infused cherries, which were so good.
They were very good.
They were so good. They've been sitting since since November 20th, just sitting in a steel container. Woo! You're not supposed to do that. And you could listen. All I know is I wasn't drunk enough that I started drinking the juice. That's a good thing.
Oh, that is good. That is good. That is good. Yeah. Oh, and the fact that you became 6ABC famous.
What in God's good earth? Were you like, yeah, let this guy represent us?
There you go.
You
were the overalls, man. The overalls.
Dude, the overalls were the shit.
I liked how people would go walking by with overalls. You're trying to get their attention. You're like, we're twins. I'm like, that guy is black. You were not twins. I was like, leave him alone.
I was like, I'm 9 beers in. Let's go. But yeah, it was not a good. It was a great day. I got home, and I slept on. I laid down on my living room floor, and my wife's like, "How much did you drink?" And she said, I responded with, "I'm okay." I was not okay. I didn't throw up or anything. I just slept until midnight, went upstairs, went to sleep. I didn't have a voice all day Monday. I had
Did
no
you work
voice.
from home?
Now I went into work. Now I went in.
So did I. I was going to take off, but I went in.
I went. Oh God. We got out of the parking lot pretty fast.
Yeah,
I mean, we sat there an hour after the game.
Yeah, and we were talking with those other guys that were next to us.
Yeah, so and this is where I sit there, and you want to complain about officiating. I don't watch much football unless it's the playoffs. I don't watch other teams unless it means something to the Eagles. And I don't watch it because how bad officiating is. And that officiating in that Kansas City Green Bay game of
horrible.
The 3 calls at the end of the game was absolutely horrendous. The late hit that they assessed to Patrick Mahomes was ridiculous. The pass interference, he took his wallet. And they're like, nah, it's all good. What? Then I won't even sit there and say that. I won't even sit there and say Travis Kelce was interfered with. Dude, it's in the end zone. Everyone's touching hands. I don't know. But those 2 calls were atrocious.
Yeah, I didn't see too much of it myself because I did the same thing. Like I haven't been watching it unless it's the Eagles. And the highlights I saw, I was like, what is going on with the officiating around the NFL? I was like, this is absolute garbage. Like, really, it's absolute garbage. They have to do something with these referees.
They got to
They
make
really
them full
do.
time.
Yeah. Make them full time. This way you'll, I don't know. I mean, they should be full time. I'll say that much. I do agree with that.
I don't know what else you want them to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Well, I mean, there has to be other kinds of training for them, and say, and also and sit down with guys, like show them an actual play and say, this is what was called, and call the damn referee out that called it too. Call him out and say, how can you call this a penalty, but then 2 plays later, this isn't, So, I mean, it's like, you have to start calling them out. I mean, That's what they have to do. They have to start calling these referees out. I mean, and they're part-time. Okay, well, guess what? Start giving them performance reviews and stuff like that. Like okay, well, this is the percentage of your calls that should have been called the other way. You don't get a bonus.
Excuse me. All right. So before we end, year to date, with our picks, I have the Eagles at 9-3. Clearly they're 10-2. You had them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You had them at 8-5.
Yeah, I was
8-4. Hold on, that was your pick. You had them losing to the Rams, which they did not.
No.
You had them losing to KC. We both did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had them losing to Buffalo,
which they did not.
So you had them at, I don't know, that's only 3 losses. You had them at 9-3, but with your predictions, they're 8-5. As mine's 9-3 or 8-4. So we'll see where we're at next week. I think we both have Dallas winning, but I refuse. I don't take back my pick on that, but I'm still saying that Eagles win this week.
Yeah, I believe I had Dallas winning at home because I didn't expect the Eagles to be play how they have been, and I didn't expect them to be 10-2. I didn't expect them to be the number 1 seed in the conference. So,
but here's my thing, and this isn't directed towards you. So,
gotcha.
Everyone had the Eagles going 3-3 in this gauntlet of a schedule, and they're not.
No, not at all. I saw someone say, people were talking about the gauntlet, that Eagles were going through this gauntlet, and they said the Eagles are the gauntlet, which, well, they sort of are now, and they had their first hiccup, and now they have, and now you have what? It's Dallas this week, Seattle next week, and then what? Then you hit the probably 3 of the easiest games you could have next to the Jets, even though they lost to the Jets.
Yeah. So I do it every week. And now I got to do it for Eagles fans. Checking in on this. I didn't want to, but I had to.
That's good though. I love that video. That video is just great. That one, and I mean, you have to play the other one just for the sake of it. It just got to get thrown in there.
And was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar. and his mishaps. I like to put that
His
out there.
mishaps.
His mishaps.
The face.
That's the best. That's the best. I was like, you got to play it. I don't care. You have to play it. That's a staple.
Yeah.
You have to play it. Oh, well. All right, man. So is that what we got for tonight?
That's all I got.
All right. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Well,
I
everybody.
hate 49ers.
You still dislike the 49ers?
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't have any respect for them because of all the trash talk. Like they literally made Week 13 their Super Bowl. That was it. And nothing will make me happier. I mean happier if they are upset big time in the playoffs. Like first round upset.
So
I would
here's my
absolutely
thing.
love it.
How about this? I think they play Seattle this week.
I think you're right.
And what happens if Seattle pulls off the upset? Is it going to be, well, they had 10 days to prepare?
Oh, you mean like what we heard? Well, like what we heard, how we had the 3 games in 13 days. Technically, almost 4 games because that game against Buffalo, our defense was out there for 97 damn snaps. So, I mean, technically it was 4 games in 13 days. But, whatever. I digress.
This is what we're going to end it on. Jason Kelce, leading vote getter among centers. Reed Blankenship, leading vote getter amongst throwing safeties in the NFC. That's wild.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Like Blankenship. Who'd have thought that?
Yep.
Who'd have thought that?
Right. Do our sign off. You're good
All
at
right.
that. I'll hit the clip. You do the sign off.
Everyone, thank you for watching the Philly podcast tonight. This episode will be out later tonight on podcast versions on Apple and Spotify and most other popular podcast platforms. You can look us up on Facebook. Just look up CEV Sports or the Philly podcast. Look us up on TikTok. Look us once we're on right now. Instagram. You name it. Chris has got us on it. So everyone, thank you again. Have a good night. And as always, go Birds!
Go Birds! And we're going to end on this.
You need to describe your emotion. You either win or you learn. That's how I feel. You either win or you learn.
We know what's at stake. We had to start all over and build this thing again. And last year was last year. Let's focus on the team that we got right now.
There is a huge mountain in front of us. Think about today, because if you don't handle business every single day, it ain't gonna matter how much talent we have in you. That's a mindset we gotta have. Every single day, what am I doing to get better? How are we gonna be the best in the world at what we do? We're prepping our minds, we're prepping our bodies. This season's a marathon. It's all about the energy we bring every single day. You gotta live that, you gotta believe that, you gotta feel that. 1, 2, 3. The best teams win, not the best group of individuals win. The best teams win. If you want to fly fast, fly alone. You want to fly far, fly together.